Welcome to Breakthrough. I'm your host, Sharon Joseph, and as always, it is wonderful to come to you live from Connellsville, Pennsylvania. I am so excited, and I'm excited for many reasons. One of them is because this is Breakthrough, and I share tips, tools, and insights for life with you. And I also want to say, welcome to National Hispanic Heritage Month. So if you're admiring my color of yellow and red, it's because it's National Hispanic Month. So I am just enjoying colors that they enjoy. How about that? And it just goes to show too that I really, really miss my Hispanic friends and just hearing the Spanish language in New York. I really miss that. Nonetheless, let's get on with the program. I'm your host, Sharon Joseph, and it's always a pleasure and an honor to come before you. I am the president of SAJ Consulting Services. It's a professional training, development, professional speaking, and consulting company. And I help businesses. Okay, let me start over because I like to talk about helping people first. Part of my life's purpose is to help people understand their purpose so that they can live and lead with passion for their purpose. And I do that through coaching, assessments, helping them build confidence and communication and leadership skills. And for businesses, I help them grow through consulting, training, assessment, advising, and helping them develop strategic plans for their future. So that's a little about what I do. And today, actually, all month long, we've been talking about discovering Connellsville, Pennsylvania. And today, I will continue or actually conclude that topic about discovering Connellsville, Pennsylvania. And I have given you many reasons why you ought to come visit this amazing place. But today, I'll conclude my thoughts as to why you should come. And if you're a newcomer to this program or if this is your first time joining me, thank you. I'm honored to have you enjoy this time with me. I encourage you to please like and share this program if it's a blessing to you. And if you'd like to have notifications of future broadcasts, would you please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Sharon A. Joseph, and hit that notification button because I publish life transforming messages or broadcasts on a weekly basis. I'm working on getting on broadcasting on a more frequent basis, but for now, I just feel like there's not enough of me to do the many things I'm doing right now. So, okay, so let's get started. So, as you know, my passion is to help you live your life with passion for your purpose. And I realize that sometimes we are in a position or place where our purpose is not being fulfilled or accomplished. And that is a real factor. Sometimes you may find someone struggling in one place, one job, one city, and they may move to another and they will thrive and bloom and do really well. And you wonder, it's the same person, they're doing the same thing they were doing in that city. But sometimes our purpose is not, we are not always where our purpose is to be fulfilled. I hope that makes sense to you. So, if you're struggling in the city you're in, and I began this program on this series on Fifth Avenue across the street from Central Park on Museum Mile, when I was encouraging New Yorkers to come visit, and I realized it's more than New Yorkers, and I say New Yorkers because I grew up, although I was born in Trinidad, I grew up in New York City, and visiting every time I visit, I am so exhausted just being there. And it occurred to me that there is something about the crazy busyness of New York that does not allow us to fully accomplish our purpose sometimes. So that's part of the reason why I'm sharing this with you to come discover Connellsville, Pennsylvania. And this entire series has been a difficult one for me. One, because I love New York City. I mean, although I was born in Trinidad, I grew up in New York, and the many, many conveniences of living in New York I love and enjoy tremendously. However, doing this program this month of September was so challenging because on 9/11, I lived and worked in Manhattan, in New York City, and I literally saw the one of the towers fall. So that is ingrained in my mind in such a way that it was really difficult doing that broadcast a couple of days after, well, 9/12 actually. It was really difficult. I did an interview here for a newspaper down in Connellsville, and I cried through the entire interview. I mean, I just boo-hooed through the entire thing, and the editor, he did such a great job in capturing my thoughts, and I couldn't even read it after. I just read the first page and I couldn't go any further. So everyone who read the story said, "Oh my God, what a great, he did you justice." And I'm thinking, okay, great, but I'm not going to read it because it was just so difficult for me. Anyhow, if you missed that episode and you want to see it, feel free to check my YouTube channel. And if you want to see the other broadcasts about New York, and this is the final one, you can also check the YouTube channel. Okay, so New Yorkers, or wherever you are in the United States or around the world, I'm encouraging you to come and visit this small city called Connellsville, Pennsylvania. Oh my gosh. After the busyness of living and working in New York City, and then also graduating from NYU in New York City, I am excited to be where I'm at now, where the pace it's basically slow and very manageable. Actually, the pace is slow for most people, but as I make this more of my home, it's becoming such a busy place for me, but it's generally not such a busy place. So I'm encouraging you to come and find out for yourself. If you're still on the fence about if you should or not, I'm encouraging you to examine your own life. See what you're doing, where you're going, see how long you have lived where you have lived, and if things are getting better or worse for you and your family. Although Connellsville, Pennsylvania is a small town, there's so many things that you can accomplish and enjoy. I shared last week the fact that when you're in a small town or a small city, your ability to impact it grows exponentially, especially if you're coming from a larger city, because you've experienced things and done things that a small city would really value, as I am finding out right now. And you're able to have access to leadership that you do not have in New York City. I had lunch with one of our state senators a couple weeks ago, one on one, not in a group of 100 or 2,000 people. That doesn't normally happen in a large city. Our mayor, you can walk around the city and just connect and have a conversation with our city's mayor. Okay, then. Or talk to our city's clerk. There are things you can do here that you are not able to do in a large city. So that's one of the reasons why. Okay, what is going on? Okay, then. So, not sure what's happening right now, but okay, then. Yes, back. So, yes. So, I'm encouraging you to try Connellsville. If not Connellsville, think about another small city and try it. I wanted to make some comparisons about New York versus Connellsville. Now, I must tell you, there are some things I totally miss about New York, like like the variety and the diversity. And for example, it's Hispanic Heritage Month, and I'm wearing these colors to celebrate my Hispanic friends. But there aren't many Hispanic people around this area of Connellsville. Although the city is so embracing and want people from different backgrounds to come and live here, it's still a work in progress. But guess what? You could be part of that progress. So think about that. Okay, so where are we? Where is Connellsville, Pennsylvania located? Connellsville is a city in Fayette County, Pennsylvania, and we are 50 miles south of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Most of us know Pittsburgh. We're on the Youghiogheny River. It's a tributary of the Monongahela River. Now, it's more than us being on the Youghiogheny River, or the Yough as they call it. The river literally flows through our city. Yeah, there's a huge bridge that goes over, but the Youghiogheny River literally flows through Connellsville, which is really cool. We are considered part of the Pittsburgh metro area, but it's a little different than the New York metro area when you think about it, because again, we are 50 miles south of Pittsburgh, and it's we are part of an amazing area called the Laurel Highlands area, and in Laurel Highlands we there's a bike trail that runs from Pittsburgh to Washington D.C. It's called the Great Allegheny Passage, and that is a world famous bike trail, and people are always riding it. So they ride right through Connellsville, Pennsylvania. It's not a big city. We are just about 2.5 miles wide, squared to be exact, but we are rich in history. We have culture, community, camaraderie, great sceneries, natural beauty, a great river, parks, mountains, valleys. I mean, they're huge. And this city of Connellsville, it's a huge arts and craft city. We literally recently won uh, an award, a Townie Award for the art, a great piece of art we did here, right here in Connellsville. And there's some amazing art shops. I mean, there are just so many things to do, and you wouldn't think that in such a small city there could be so much to do, but there is. I'm here and I'm loving it and enjoying it, so I'm encouraging you to come visit. The people are very welcoming, and they are great business development opportunities right here. As a matter of fact, if you have a business in Connellsville, they actually give you funding to help you establish your signage and to improve your facade. I mean, there's money available. They give to businesses to help them improve their businesses. That is really cool. And it's an awesome place to work remotely as well. So if you are working remotely, you may enjoy the benefits and the many amenities of the Connellsville, Pennsylvania area. And again, I mentioned that the city really embraces diversity, so you really want to consider that. If you're now joining me, this is Breakthrough, and I'm your host, Sharon Joseph, where I bring you basic tips, tools, and insights for life. And today we are basically recapping some of my conversation about you coming to visit or discover Connellsville. And this is the last program of this series, so I hope that if you missed some of it, feel free to go back and look at my YouTube channel. If you'd like to send me a topic that you'd like me to talk about, you can do so at breakthroughtti@gmail.com. That's the word, one word, breakthrough, tti@gmail.com, or you can give me a call. Yes, I'll actually answer your call. 440-497-0172 if you had a breakthrough story to share. Or if this program has really been a blessing to you, would you leave me some comments and share the broadcast with others? And if you're going through a challenging time, I encourage you to stay tuned, because at the end of the broadcast, I'll like to pray with and or for you. Okay, so I mentioned at our last broadcast that Connellsville is world famous for its Coke. I know it's not Coca-Cola, and no, it's not the bad Coke either. It's considered the Coke capital of the world due to the amount and high quality of Coke that the city produced many, many years ago. What is Coke? Coke is basically a fuel that has very few impurities and a high carbon content. It was made from coal, and it was more efficient than coal, the coal that we use to burn fires and furnace and so on. But the city is now becoming famous for its trail towns. Yes, because of that great Allegheny Passage, and people are realizing the importance of outdoors and the bike trail and so on. It's becoming really famous for the the gap, the bike trail that runs through us, the Great Allegheny Passage bike trail. And Connellsville, I think I mentioned that we recently received a Townie Award for 2020 for a major piece of art. An entire building was literally wrapped in an artist wrapped it in a picture basically of what took place in Connellsville, or yeah, many years ago. It's just a beautiful piece of art. And what else? I normally tell people that Connellsville is a great place to to start a family, raise a family, retire, or start over, and or start a business. There are just so many good amenities around that gives you a quiet, really well, a quiet or exciting life, because my life is pretty exciting, but you could have a quiet life if you choose, or busy if you choose. But it's a great place to be, period. There are several hospitals around, so, and there's a hospital right in our city, so you know that you're safe. It's a, what else I mentioned about the Gap Town, Amtrak, we forget that sometimes, is right in the middle of our city. And what else? Yeah, Amtrak is right in the middle of our city, and there are a couple great places to stay right here in the city as well. The Comfort Inn and the Connellsville B&B, and I think there's also Airbnb. If you're looking, you can check that out as well. There are two airports close by. I mentioned, and these are just a quick recap of last week, right? That it's a great place to eat, sleep, play, have friends, share knowledge. Sharing knowledge, I think that's really important, because whatever knowledge you're bringing from your city, it is so well needed and appreciated here in Connellsville. So when great minds come together, because there's some really amazing people and great minds in Connellsville, so when great minds come together, we can do so much more. So come and join us in any season of the year. We have beauty, history, education, because there are several colleges around. There's and colleges and learning institution, because Toastmasters International just established a club here in Connellsville, Pennsylvania. So we are getting on the map for many different reasons. So here's some things to do as I conclude this program shortly. Actually, there are many things to do. So I'll just go through this list really quickly. So I mentioned starting a business, because the Downtown Connellsville Fayette Cultural Trust Initiative gives you money to help you get things going. Then there is you can ride, walk, play on the Great Allegheny Bike Trail. You can raft the river that runs through our city. You can walk the city. I think I mentioned last week about this lady I met walking Connellsville, where she lost 70 pounds just walking the city. Just walking. How cool is that? And you can have breakfast and lunch at the Connellsville Canteen and World War II Museum. And by the way, that's where Toastmasters meet, at the World War II Museum. And it's amazing. I tell my friends, there's nowhere in New York that a museum would allow you to use their facility to have a Toastmasters meeting, or you may have to pay a bunch. But we are able to have our Toastmasters meeting in the Connellsville Canteen and World War II Museum. And I consider that like the heart of the city. Then you can visit the many monuments around the city. Then the nationally known Ohiopyle State Park, of that has 20,000 acres of natural beauty. My goodness. And it has some of the best whitewater rafting in the country. And that's just a few miles away. And it's open year round. It's just like 17 miles, not a few, but 17 miles away actually from downtown. Then you can visit the Falling Waters. Falling Waters is a house designed in 1939 by this guy called Frank Lloyd Wright in Laurel Highlands, and they're just about 16 miles away from Connellsville. There's so much to do, and there are many places to eat around if you want Italian, American, simple McDonald's, Wendy's, those types of stuff. We've got them all. And what else? Okay, this is Breakthrough, and on Breakthrough, we share with you things and ideas to help you live and lead with passion for your purpose. At Breakthrough, I believe that breakthrough comes when you know and understand that you are created for impact, that we are all created for impact. And it's not about failing, it's about failing forward. So if you fail one time, don't give up, get up and try again. So it applies to what I'm talking about now too. If you've been failing in the city where you're at, I'm encouraging you to get up one more time and try Connellsville, Pennsylvania, because you're blessing what you need, the destiny helpers that you need to accomplish your purpose. Maybe, just maybe, they are in Connellsville, Pennsylvania. And if you move to Connellsville, Pennsylvania because of this broadcast, you tell me, because I'm going to help you. And I mean that, help you get yourself established here, or and direct you as to how you can make, how you can establish your life in this new city. I have had many people help me get started, and I've just been here for under 2 years now, just about a year and a half actually. So come, and I'll be happy to be one of your guides and helping you get restarted. You can okay, so we've been talking about things you can do in Connellsville. I mentioned about walking the trails and those types of stuff. You can take art lessons at the Appalachian Creativity Center, and there are many other centers in which you can create or learn and grow or do things at. Nightlife, there's a brewery coming, there's several social clubs, and what else? I think if you were to ask me about Connellsville, I think a few things may be missing as far as nightlife is concerned, but so many people are just happy to be at home and relax that I don't think many people miss it. And then Uniontown, Greensburg, Pittsburgh is not so far away. Okay, what else do we have here that would interest you? So there are many things within a 25 mile radius. I mentioned Ohio Pile, which is 19 miles, and Falling Waters, which is 16 miles away. Then there's a great well-known Yogi Bear Jellystone Park and Campground. That's just about 12 miles away. There's Seven Springs, an amazing resort, 20 miles away. There's Sea Base Family Fun Center, which is 23 miles away. And I mentioned whitewater rafting at Ohio Pile. Then there's a great Connellsville Canteen and World War II Museum in the heart of Connellsville. So that's 0 miles away, walking distance. And what else is there? Uniontown. There's Uniontown. There's a mall there. And I know malls are becoming outdated, but yes, there is still a mall there. Then there's York Lanes Bowling, which is close by. There's a Crawford School of Terror, which is like close by as well. There are wineries. What else? There's several wineries actually. And there's the Comet Drive-In. Where can you go and see a drive-in movie in New York or any busy city? Hardly likely. There's City Bowling close by. There's Bikes Unlimited if you wanted to rent a bike or purchase a bike and go on the trails. You've got that. I mentioned the Appalachian Creativity Center. There's so many dance studios around. And then there's the Edwin Potter Theater. Then I believe there's a theater in Uniontown as well. Then there's Jamonville. This is a high mountain where there's a massive cross that you can see for many, many miles around. That's close by. You have the Uniontown Country Club. You have the Pleasant Valley Golf Club, which is like, I don't know, 0.5 miles away. Then you have the Dunlap, Creek Lake. That's about 16 miles away. Then you have the Benner Meadow Run Campgrounds. That's about 19 miles away. I mean, there's so many things. There's golfing as well. And then we, as you know, we have the Comfort Inn right in the heart of our city. And they literally rent rafts and bikes to you. Not many hotels do that, right? And you have the York River Park, which is right in the city. And you have the Ice Mine, which is about 3.5 miles away. And so there's so many things to do. So I encourage you, if you've thought about, oh yes, and I want to talk a little more about the Laurel Highlands Toastmasters International Club that was recently chartered here in Connellsville, Pennsylvania, because yours truly, I am not only the sponsor, but the president of the club, and we are doing some amazing things. We have this club that's full of amazing leaders. Our city's mayor is a member. Our state senator is a mayor. We have a council person. And by the way, as you may already know, Toastmasters, we are totally non-political. So when we get to meetings, everyone is just called by their names. So it's a really great place to learn and grow from each other. I tell people that this Toastmasters Club, and by the way, my next program will be talking about Laurel Highlands Toastmasters, because we are doing some really amazing things, and Toastmasters International is now, they've asked us to do something really special, and I'll tell you about that at our next broadcast. But we tell people that Toastmasters, Laura Highlands Toastmasters, is all about leaders building other leaders. And we say this thing, Toastmasters is a riot. Riot stands for relax, it's only Toastmasters. So although public speaking could be intimidating because of riot, or another phrase we use is Toastmasters, Laura Highlands Toastmasters is a no judgment zone. So you can come, feel free to fail, because when you fail, to us, we don't just fail and fall and stay there, but we fail forward. It's all the things I share with you here. We at Toastmasters do it, literally. So I'm encouraging you, if you're thinking about coming to Connellsville, come visit us. If you're in Connellsville or surrounding areas, and by the way, Toastmasters International, our club, is the first hybrid club to be chartered with Toastmasters International, meaning we have in person and online. So if you wanted to join us online, send me a message and you can do that. So you can be a member and be in Texas or in Tanzania. That's the essence of what I'm saying. Okay, so what else? I hope I've shared with you enough things to at least encourage you to come visit Connellsville, Pennsylvania. I know some people may say, well, I miss the diversity and the many things New York City offers, and they may be dealing with FOMO, the fear of missing out. I promise you, you can make new ideas, not new ideas. Well, yeah, you can have new ideas and make new fun things and create your own space here. So come and enjoy the diversity, the people, the food, start over or start a new family here. Okay, thank you for joining me for this series on Discover Connellsville, Pennsylvania. Right now, I just want to say a few words to you in prayer, because you may have been going through a really challenging time or trying to make a decision as to if you should move or if you should stay where you are, or you may be about to be evicted from where you are and you're wondering, oh my goodness, where do I go from here? Or you may have just lost your job or looking for a job and can't find one, or whatever the case is. I am encouraging you right now to just join me as I touch and agree with you for your future. Father, I thank you. I thank you for everyone who have looked at this broadcast or who will look at it in the future. I thank you, oh God, because wherever they are right now, we understand that sometimes our purpose may not be in the city where we currently live. But God, sometimes moving or even the thought of moving could be so frightening. Father, but you said you give us peace when we make the right decision. If someone has been struggling in the city where they are at and wondering if this is where they're supposed to be, just jumping from one place to another and not quite knowing what to do or where to go, Father, I ask you in the name of Jesus to help them, give them peace as they make a decision or even decide to come visit Connellsville, Pennsylvania, that you give them the peace that's needed in order to do that. Thank you for working out all things for them and their family members. Thank you, God, for making, if they make a decision to come visit or to come live in Connellsville, that you give them the complete peace that lets them know that indeed you are the one who is directing them to come here. We thank you, God, for whomever is struggling financially with family issues, job issues, health issues. Oh God, I pray in the name of Jesus that you touch and deliver. I speak and declare your shalom over every situation that's facing you right now in the name of Jesus. Until next week, right here at 7 p.m., I say have a week that you focus on accomplishing your purpose. When you do that, you would live such a successful life, and the issues that are really challenging to you right now becomes manageable because you're walking purposefully in your purpose. Until next week, you have a blessed and wonderful week.